Usually I'm super productive. I have my tight routine, my timetable that I follow every single day. But for the past few weeks I've been on holiday, and I've realized how detrimental scrolling is to productivity, creativity and thinking is. Because as I said, for the past few weeks I've been traveling and I've been on holiday, so I haven't been using like my tight, strict schedule that I normally have with my timetable. I have been filling out my habit tracker, but I have not been following this tight routine. So I've been more prone to, grabbing my phone and then starting to scroll a little bit. And I can only say I've just now realized how bad scrolling and watching all these videos are. If you don't already know me, my name's Lawrence and I help young men fast track their self-improvement success. You're clearly interested in that, so just gonna click that subscribe button right now. So usually I'm on a dopamine detox, and I am as well now, but I've been more prone to grabbing my phone as I've been on holiday and not using this tight schedule. But before I would never use my phone almost. I would just have a quick small scroll at the end of the day and then that would be it. But it has changed so much once I've started to scroll a little bit again. My thoughts, my creativity, everything just goes down because usually I'm way more bored. There are way more moments where I'm just, standing there cooking something in the kitchen, just thinking, looking out my window, going for a walk, all of these things. Whereas now in those moments where I don't have a schedule, it's more easy for me to grab my phone. And so especially with coming up with, what I want to tell you today, usually I have quite easy time, I'm just thinking, how can I help my younger self? And then an idea pops into my mind and I turn on the camera and I start speaking. But now, because I'm just occupying my brain with scrolling all the time, that doesn't happen anymore. I have to sit down to what the fuck do I need to what can I record a video about? How can I help people? I literally have to think so much because I'm not getting those thoughts anymore, because I'm not letting my brain think. And that's the problem with scrolling. Every time there is a moment where your brain can think, where you're on the toilet, when you're cooking something, when you're washing your hands, when you're going for a walk, when you're sitting in the train, when you're sitting in the bus, all those moments, your brain would be thinking. And it would be thinking about stuff, thinking about your goals. And that was why it was so easy for me, because I was just thinking about my goals, right? But now, in all of those moments, you're grabbing your phone and you're starting to scroll. Is that really the way? Because when you're doing that, your thoughts gets disrupted. Now you're just looking at that, scrolling, thinking about the videos. And your brain has just been turned off. So when you go back out into the real world and you're expecting to get some good work done, to script the video or whatever it may be, you have no, all of the thoughts that you were supposed to have while scrolling are piled up. So you can't have those creative thoughts anymore. Scrolling ruins your creativity. It ruins the ideas that you get. Because when you read a book normally, you wouldn't just read the book, close it down and then don't think any more of it. You would read the book and then once you close the pages, say, okay, that was a good chapter. You would your brain will automatically think, how could I do this in my own life? How could I implement this advice? Whereas if you close the book off and you grab your phone immediately, your brain can't think. A lot of people think they can multitask, but that's actually not a thing. What actually happens inside of your brain when you try to do two things at once is that your attention gets switched really quickly. That's why if you've ever tried, like me, I would usually, when I was younger, I would do my homework and scroll on the side. The reason why you can't put out good work when you're doing that is because your brain is constantly flicking attention from the screen with your homework and then your phone. And so you can never be focused because your brain is constantly switching attention like that. It would be the same as if you had to watch something, but then you also had to watch something else. You can't watch two things at the same time. Your brain can't be two places at the same time. It can only switch very quickly. And that's why when you don't have time to think, then you can't get those creative ideas, because while you're scrolling, your brain won't be thinking about how you can help your younger self, what video you can create. Your brain won't be thinking about that. It will be focused on the video. And that's why this has been so detrimental for me, because usually I have easy time coming up with ideas. I can come with 2, 3 every single day. Now I struggle to literally find one thing to talk about. That's scary. Usually I can find easily 3 things to talk about, and now I struggle to find one. And it's only because of that. Because I don't have that boredom anymore, where I'm just able to think. And I've talked so much about boredom and said it's important and all of this shit. And this just goes to show that you won't realize how bad scrolling is until you stop scrolling and then falling back into doing it. Then you realize, holy shit, I was so productive before and now I'm doing all of this sorts of shit and I can't think about that. I can't find video ideas, can't put out good work. And that's just the reality. If you scroll, if you watch in all the breaks, in all the times where you don't want to be bored, you will be less productive, you will be less focused and less creative. Because creativity and productivity are so important. But you won't have those things when you occupy your brain at all times. Your brain needs to think, and that's how you get ideas. But when you're occupying it with something all the time, your brain never gets to think. And that's why I haven't, usually I'll have literally a week's worth of videos already made, edited, and ready to be posted, right? So they're just in schedule, and then every day the week will be 1 week in a day, so I'll always be ahead of time, right? Right now I've been recording a video every single day. This day I'm recording this video and it's going up today. But usually this video would be recorded 1 week ago because I was so ahead of time, I was so productive. I could come up with so many ideas and speak for so long to you. But now, as I said, I struggle to come up with one thing to say. And that's not because I've made so many videos. That is because I don't let my brain think. It's only in those moments I've realized here on holiday. For example, yesterday we were on a boat trip. And on the way back, I just fell into thought. And then I got an idea because I had been pushing my thoughts away for so long because then I was sleeping, then I was scrolling, then I was doing this and that. So I hadn't been able to think. And then suddenly my brain just you have to think now. And then you just fall into looking at something and just thinking. And then I got the video idea. Then all of the thoughts to try to come in. But if you keep occupying your brain, you can't be focused. You can't be, I'm not even joking. You can't achieve shit if you're distracted and scrolling and watching all the time. And this has just proved it to me. That if you continue to do this, you will never get anywhere. I was going so fast forward when I was bored a lot of the time, and now that I'm scrolling, I don't do as much. I'm not as productive. This is only when you realize how bad scrolling is. You might not realize because, oh yeah, he's just yapping about and I haven't experienced this. But when you become super productive and then you fall back into it, you will realize this as well. That scrolling, watching all of this shit is so detrimental to your productivity and your creativity because you keep piling up your thoughts so they come in at once because you never let yourself think. And that is the most important thing, to let yourself think, to just sit there and think. That's what I'm going to leave you with. Don't scroll in all of these moments. Don't take your phone to the toilet. Don't take your phone when you're going in public transport. Just sit and think. If you do that, I promise you'll get some good ideas on how to improve, do certain things. Just trust me. In all of those moments of boredom, don't grab your phone. Just sit there and think. That's all I can tell you that has worked for me. If you found this video helpful and you want to see more videos from a small YouTuber like me, go down and click that subscribe button right now. It's a win-win for both me and you. Also check out the Discord server. It's the first link in the description. It's a small brotherhood that we're trying to grow and I really appreciate seeing you in there. And last but not least, put one foot in front of the other.